All right, folks. The first set of Trump indictments had to do with they were relatively inconsequential. I'm forgetting what they were about exactly. What was it? It was the first set of Trump indictments. It was I didn't put much stake in these at all. There was the bit with him sexually assaulting that woman, and then there was the Stormy Daniels campaign misappropriation. Right, that's it. That's the misappropriation of the funds. The Stormy Daniels bit. That's right. That was the first thing. I don't think that's going anywhere, right? Now, the second set of charges brought against him, the second indictment that was brought by FBI special counsel, that was devastating. You guys remember? We took a look at all 30 plus charges that were brought against him with the misappropriation of and hiding of secret documents that he kept from the federal government who tried to retrieve it from him. We know that he lied. They had evidence for it, blah, blah. Okay, folks. A third indictment has hit the towers, all right? Finally now, we know why Building 7 came down. Look at this. Ooh, guys. I can't believe it. Okay? I genuinely think that Donald Trump might actually make history with this one. So much is happening. He did everything right. He might actually do it. This might actually happen. Look at this. Special counsel Jack Smith, he's the person who's handling the second wave of indictment charges as well, has brought 3 new felony charges against former President Donald Trump, including explosive claims that he asked an employee of his Mar-a-Lago club to delete security camera footage sought by investigators probing his handling of classified documents. It's over. In a 60-page superseding indictment unveiled Thursday, prosecutors also accused Trump of possessing a highly classified war plan, which he shared with people lacking security clearances months after his presidency ended. And prosecutors added a third defendant, Carlos de Oliveira, a worker at Mar-a-Lago, who's accused of joining Trump and aide Walt Nauta to seek the destruction of the security footage. Folks, how can you claim that you had a right to keep those documents while also deleting evidence of your moving them? It doesn't matter whether or not you're guilty or innocent of the initial set of crimes, of which he's guilty, by the way. Deleting evidence is a crime regardless. It doesn't matter if you would later be found to be not guilty on a set of crimes. That has to be determined by a court. And if you're destroying evidence, that's a crime in and of itself. There's no other reason why he would be asking security footage to be deleted. This is insane. This isn't even a third indictment. It's additional charge. No, it's a superseding indictment. It's an additional indictment. It's an overlapping indictment. It's a big indictment that's being added to another big indictment to mush together into a big, mushy, collective indictment. Ridiculous. It's never been this ogre, folks. The new indictment alleges that on June 27th, 2022, De Oliveira met with a Trump Organization employee in an audio closet at Mar-a-Lago and asked that person, unnamed in the indictment, to delete the security camera video sought by prosecutors in a grand jury subpoena days earlier. Guys, deleting evidence after it's been subpoenaed. This is not ambiguous. There is no question of like, oh, well, did they have a right to? No, it's so straightforward. He asked to delete it after the indictment. Oh my God. De Oliveira told the employee, the boss, that's Trump, wanted the server deleted, the new indictment alleges. The employee, quote, responded he would not know how to do that and that he did not believe he would have the rights to do that. The indictment adds, even this nobody, this person who isn't even named in the indictment is like, no, that is illegal. I am not going to do that. Prosecutors claim that when the employee told a supervisor he would need to be involved, De Oliveira repeated that the boss wanted the server deleted, and De Oliveira then asked, what are we going to do? The indictment indicates that De Oliveira spoke by phone and texted with Nauta, longtime Trump aide who's also a defendant in the case, shortly after the exchange with the unnamed employee. De Oliveira and Nauta met in person just off the Mar-a-Lago grounds, and Trump called De Oliveira later that day, the indictment alleges. There is no indication of what was said in the phone calls. De Oliveira, 56, of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, is scheduled to be arraigned Monday in Miami federal court, according to a court docket. Trump and Nauta will also need to be re-arraigned on the new indictment, but it's unclear when. The rest of the 2024 presidential campaign for Trump will just be him getting brought back to the same courthouse over and over to be rearranged. It's just going to be like 60, 70 instances of him walking in and out, protests outside the building. The perfect phone call / evidence cover-up. Haruka really ruined Pornauta. True. Oh, and guys, look, we were correct. The new indictment in the Florida case adds new details about Trump's alleged handling the classified war plan, believed to be an attack on Iran. It alleges that on July 21st, 2021, he shared the plan at his club in Bedminster, New Jersey, with two people working on a book being written by his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. In the original indictment, prosecutors had revealed they had recorded that conversation, but they hadn't yet charged Trump with possessing that document. The new indictment charges Trump also had that classified war plan at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. It does not specify how the document reached either location. Trump has publicly denied showing the actual document to researchers, instead claiming he had shown them news clippings. I didn't have a document per se, Trump said in a Fox News appearance last month. There was nothing to declassify. They were just newspaper stories, magazine articles, and stories and such. Each of the new obstruction of justice charges carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. The charge of willfully retaining national defense secrets is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Due to the operation of federal sentencing guidelines and the sheer volume of charges Trump already faced, the new charges may not significantly affect Trump's bottom line sentence if he is convicted giving prison time. What that means is he's already facing so many years in prison that it doesn't matter if there's more years in prison. But they are likely to bolster the narrative prosecutors can present to a jury and the public. In a statement Thursday night, the Trump campaign called the new charges, quote, desperate and flailing, and said Smith is, quote, casting about for any way to salvage the case against him. Anyway, adding clear-cut obstruction of justice charges on top of the existing 30-plus charges is phenomenal. It's so blatant, you know. Trump's never going to see the inside of a prison cell because he's going to spend so long in court having all the crimes that he's committed read back to him that he'll die there on the stand. You know, it'll take forever. Yes, if you want specific info on anything regarding the legal side of Trump's indictment and the charges against him, watch a legal video because, you know, he's a lawyer. I'm not. In my legal opinion, this is quite bad for him. That's my professional opinion, personally, you know. Then we have this article. Is that playing audio? No, it's not. Thank goodness. Are the Republicans even going to be able to run him? You can run from jail, but he's not going to be in jail. Then they say it would take 22 days. What happened to that? I'm so confused. Trump's team has been making an ongoing effort to delay the proceedings by as much as possible. They will delay. Yeah, it's because, like, remember how we said before that DeSantis's only chance was if Trump went to jail? I don't even think that's true anymore. I think that Trump from prison would get more votes than DeSantis would as a free man. It's insane. Who's Ramaswamy? It's so over for DePiss Pants. Oh yeah, speaking of. Yikes! First of all, it's over for anyone who's not Trump. But second of all, Ramaswamy has one appearance at like a Blaze TV event that's publicized and instantly gets more support in a key swing state than DeSantis. Jesus Christ. It's so over, man. I keep saying that there are like things fascists are fundamentally bad at that gives us an advantage against them. And one of them is that they're inhuman. And one of the ways this helps us is that like DeSantis just does not come across as a person when interacting with others. Have you guys seen this video of him? This is just from the other day. Look at this.
Yeah, it's good to meet you too. Oh, what is that? An icy? Yeah, that's probably a lot of sugar, huh? Good to see you. All right, 4H, Wayne County.
Joe Biden, when he sees somebody with an ice cream, that's a good-looking ice cream, Jack. Got an extra one for me? DeSantis, when he sees a child with a sugary drink, well, that's very sweet. That's a lot of sugar, isn't it? Okay. He just comes across as so, like, disengaged and disinterested and disgusted by everything and everyone around him, you know? Hungry. Sorry. This doesn't indicate anything significant outside the fact that he's just awkward, but he really does look uncomfortable around people, you know? Donald Trump looks totally comfortable around people. You guys have seen Trump do like meet and greets with fans, right? He's consistently funny and engaged. You know, he's incredibly narcissistic, but people like that about him. But he's just like, bleh, you know, bleh, truly. Anyway, what is this? MSNBC. MSNBC. I clicked on an MSNBC link. Yeah. I don't even want to read this. Yeah. I can't believe it. It's just talking about how supporters of Trump are denying reality with regards to his charges, which we know that's not new or special. We know that. We know they're doing this. Um, is that a porn tab you've opened there? You know, I'm not entirely sure anymore either. God, that looks weird. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen in this upcoming presidential candidacy, you know? In 2016, I wasn't a YouTuber, but things were still fairly straightforward, right? It was Trump versus everyone on his side, and Bernie and Hillary on their side, and, you know, the primaries played out, and then there was the general, and Trump won. And then in 2020, Trump ran basically uncontested as the presidential candidate. Biden beat out everyone after some agonizing primary process, incidences. And Biden ended up winning. But I don't know what's going to happen this time. I really don't. There's basically no primary for the Dems. The people who could potentially have done a primary against him either didn't run as a Democrat or aren't relevant. You know, Orb Mother isn't really running as a meaningful political opponent in an electoral sense. Cornel West ran Green Party after giving up on People's Party after 2 weeks. And RFK is only cared about by lunatic far-right conspiracy theorists. So much so that DeSantis was talking publicly about making him his running mate. And then over on the Republican side, you know, Trump is overwhelmingly popular compared to every other potential candidate. So it's going to be him. But he's also facing down a ton of charges. I have no idea what's going to happen. I really don't. I genuinely don't know what the narrative or the... I don't know. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't know. I genuinely don't. I normally have a strategy going into stuff like this. You know, you have an idea of how things are going to pan out, and you approach it in a given way. But what do I talk about here? There's no Bernie or bust narrative to discuss because there's no Bernie. You know, Marianne Williamson or bust? That's not happening. And obviously, the Republicans are bad. So, I mean, I'll be cheering for Biden as the only viable candidate who exists to run against them. I just don't know what narrative, I don't know how to frame it, basically. I guess we'll see. Is Marianne Williamson good? Yeah, but she's not really electorally viable, so it doesn't really matter, unfortunately. Will it be a fun time? I don't know. I genuinely don't. Well, it's not like cheering for Biden ever made you any enemies.